From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenni Carlson here in studio. Lots of great options at running back for the Cowboys. LD Brown, one of those guys expected to be in the mix, but Scott Wright joins us on the phone to talk a little bit about the impact that LD Brown could have. And Scott, the biggest impact from him could potentially be special teams. He seems to see that as a real opportunity. What's his view of that as he heads into this season?
Well, he loves it. You know, he wants to be. He wants to have his opportunity to get on the field. He knows with all of those running backs, it's not going to be easy. But he's a guy that that really showed what he was made of in the kick return position last year, and knows that that's a way to get the ball in his hands a few more times. So he's really excited about that opportunity. He's good at it. It seems to come natural for him. They used Tyron Johnson in that role early in the season, and as fast as he is, he's a guy that likes to dance around a little bit. That doesn't always work well on a kickoff return. LD Brown is another fast guy who likes to get going forward on those kickoff returns, and that's what you've got to do to be successful in that role. So he's a guy that fits the mold really well and really enjoys the opportunity, and excited to have an opportunity to get the ball in his hands out there.
Well, he did emerge as a guy who was a legit option last year in kickoff return, spent the second half of the season involved with that. But when, he looks at the running back position, everybody knows Justice Hill's the main guy. J.D. King had such a great breakout game at West Virginia last year. You got to think he's probably that number 2 guy. Sort of leaves LD Brown, Chuba Hubbard hanging out, trying to figure out ways to get on the field. But if they could get a guy that could consistently return kicks, not only for maybe good yardage, but potentially touchdowns, Scott, they haven't had that guy for quite a while, probably since Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't had a real threat back there since then. It was something that they did really well with some guys like going even all the way back to Parrish Cox, Justin Gilbert, guys like that. It's something that's always been a weapon for Oklahoma State, but it hasn't been now for a while. So if they could find somebody that could be that guy that makes a special teams coach on the other side get a little bit nervous, it's a big weapon. And especially with the new kickoff rule coming in, you don't know how people are going to adjust to this fair catch rule. If they're going to start trying to kick shorter and try to make people make a mistake, or what they're going to do. So if you can do something that makes people nervous about what you can do on the other side, it's only going to help you.
Hey, quickly, let's talk about the running back position, Scott, because when Mike Gundy talked at Media Day a few weeks ago, he talked about the fact that he would really like for Justice Hill, to still be that bell cow, but maybe to have less carries than he's had in his career to keep him fresh. Are you starting to get a sense of just how carries could be distributed, what we could expect? I mean, could all 4 of those running backs be in some sort of rotation in games, or do you see that maybe being more limited to 3 or even 2 guys in most games for the Cowboys?
I think that they're going to try to get at least 3 of those guys involved as much as possible. And, if the opportunity is there for the 4th guy to play as well, it won't surprise me if it happens. I think you're going to see sometimes when you've got 2 of those guys on the field at once, and do some things like that to get them more involved and keep them rotating through. I think they really like what Chuba Hubbard has done in not only last spring but so far here in August. They know what LD Brown and J.D. King can do. Obviously Justice is the guy you want touching the ball the most. He's at the top of that list that Mike Gundy referenced of the guy that you want touching the ball to give you a chance to score a touchdown. So he's going to be in there. He's going to be involved on a vast majority of plays. But they know that these other guys are talented and can do some things, and they're going to find ways to get them involved and to keep Justice Hill a little bit fresh and keep him from taking the pounding that he did the last couple of years.
All right, our position breakdowns will continue as the preseason rolls along. You want to look out for the Cowboy Back preview and the Wednesday Oklahoman and on News OK, and we'll continue to roll those out as camp continues to roll along. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.